Hello guys, welcome to this tutorials. My name is Emmanuel. In this tutorial, we'll be looking at the Pixellab environment, the tools on Pixellab and how to use them. If you're an old subscriber, thank you for coming back. If you are new to this channel, kindly hit on the subscribe button and turn on the notification icon to get notified whenever we post a new video. Kindly give this video a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comment section below. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, we'll be looking at the tools on the top of the Pixellab environment, and the first tool we have here is the plus icon here, and under the plus icon we have other options like the text option, and this option is simply for adding text when working with Pixellab. The next option that we have under the plus icon is the current date. If you want to add the current date of your mobile device, you click on this option and you have this current date there. So all you need to do is to just make some little adjustment to it, and just like the text option too, you can double click on it to erase and add any other text you want to add, okay, like this. So you have a text here. The next tool that we have under the plus icon here is the sticker. Okay, so with this tool you can add sticker onto your design. You can add different kind of stickers on your design canvas. You can add the football sticker and any other sticker you want to make use of. The next tool under the plus icon is the shapes, and you basically be designing with shapes. So you have the shape tool there, and you can click on this option here to change the shapes from the square to triangle, and then you can change it to a circle and to any other shape. Okay, so assuming we have the square here, right, you can make effect to the properties of this square, like the radius to give it a rounded edge, and you can reduce the opacity to reduce the fill. You can change the color of the shape. You can change the color of the shape from here. You can give it an outline color as well. You can change the color of the stroke from here, and so many other options here. Okay, so the next option that we have under the plus icon is from gallery, and this option allows you to add images or other elements from your gallery. So when you simply click on this option, you head onto your gallery, and then you can find images or any other thing you want to bring into the Pixellab environment. So this is an example of what I want to add, and I click on OK, and as you can see, we have it there. So the next option in the plus icon there is the draw option. Okay, and this option allows you to draw shapes on the Pixellab environment, or it allows you to use the pen to create drawings, and you can also select colors or make some other adjustment to your drawings from here. So let's remove this. So the next tool we'll be talking about is this save tool here. Okay, and it allows you to save your project as either an image or either the PLP file, and the PLP file is simply the extension that is used to save designs on Pixellab, and that is like the raw file for your design. Just like we have other softwares like CorelDRAW and Photoshop, they also have their own extension. Okay, so save as, you are saving it as a PLP file, so you just give it a name and you have it onto your device. Okay, so you can also use the save as image option, and you can save it as a picture so that you can share it with your friends or with your clients. And the other option you can see under this save format is the JPEG format or JPG format. Okay, or you can also use the PNG. So the difference between these two is that the JPG is for designs that you want to have the background on it, but for the PNG, mostly you use it when you want to save logos without a background. Okay, so take note of that. So the next thing that we have is the share option here, and this allows us to share our design onto social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the rest of them. So the next option that we have here is the quote option here, and this quote option allows us to select different kind of quotes. Maybe you want to be posting motivational quotes on your Facebook or your social media handles, so you have a pre-built quote that is here. Okay, you can use any of it: motivation quote, success, friendship, and the rest of them. So you can simply add any of it and you have it there. You can double click to edit or maybe make some changes to it. Okay, so the next option that we have is this three dot here, and this is very important. Okay, if you want to use an image from the background, you use the first option, which is the use image from background. And this full screen allows you to view Pixellab on a full screen without the other tools of Pixellab. The next option there is to use image from camera in case you want to use an image from your camera onto your design canvas. The next option is the export image, and it's almost the same thing with the save as. So it allows you to save your images either as JPG format or PNG format. The next option that we have is the image size, and this is very important, okay, because it allows you to impute the dimension of your design. So you might be designing for maybe a billboard and the size might be a custom size, so you'll be imputing the size of your design on here. And we have custom sizes here, and these custom sizes are pre-built, okay, like the profile picture for maybe Facebook, and we have the YouTube channel banner, we have the Facebook cover, and the rest of them. So these ones are pre-built. And remember, Pixellab uses pixel as the unit of measurement. So if you have a measurement or a custom size in centimeter, meters, and the rest of the measurement unit, you can simply convert them by using the unit converter to get the required size in pixel. Next option there is the contact us bug, and this option allows you to report a bug to Pixellab in case you are noticing any misfunction with the application. You can simply report it to the development team and they'll work on it. And the next option that we have there is the tutorial. So if you want to watch more tutorial on this, you can click on that option to get it. And the next option is the remove art. Okay, mostly when you are working with Pixellab, especially the free version of Pixellab, there are some ads that will come onto your designs when you're working, so it's just like a distraction. But when you don't want it, you can simply purchase the Pixellab Pro. The next option is the recover auto save, and this option allows you to recover your work in case you're working and then maybe you mistakenly exit the application without saving. You can use this recover auto save and you get back your files or your designs. The next option is open PLP file, and it is simply the collation of the jobs that you have done on Pixellab before. Okay, so you can find that option there. The next option is to read more about the application, and we all know what that is. And the other option that we have there is exit, just to close the application. Next option we can use when we select an item on Pixellab is the delete option, and once we select it, we can click on the delete button to remove it onto our design canvas. So let's just remove everything here. Let's remove everything here. So the next option here that we have is the undo button, and this button allows us to undo the previous effect that we have done on Pixellab. Remember, the last thing we deleted was the ball, so when we click on this undo button, you can see that it returns the ball. When we click on it again, it returns the other items that we have on the Pixellab environment, and that is what it is. So let's just delete all of this and we have a blank canvas there. So we'll delete this and then we can continue. So the next option we have is the zoom option here, and to use this option, you simply click on it and then you hold your screen and you drag across just to zoom it, because this is very important because we're using mobile phones for design and we want to view the elements that we have on our screen properly. So we'll be using this option a lot when designing on Pixellab. So the next option is this grid that we have here, and this helps us with alignment when we want to align our design on Pixellab. And once you have it selected, you want to move these lines that we have here just to suit the alignment we're working on. So to do that, you can simply click the icon below here and it allows you to select it and you move it across. Let's say you don't want your design to exceed this margin, so you can just set a margin across your page this way, and you can see how helpful this tool is for your design. And the other options under it is for you to maybe add a line. Okay, you can add a line, you can change the position of the line, you can delete the line, and so on. So the next option that we have here is the layer option, and this is very important. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. So let's have this. We're adding this shape, right? And we'll change the color of this to a yellow, and I'll click on OK, and I'll add another shape again, and I'll change the color of this to blue. So as you can see, we can't see the yellow square because this blue is covering it. Okay, so when we move this, you can see that we have the square there, but we want the yellow square to be on top of the blue square, and that's where this layer has come into place. So when you click on this layer, you can see that we have the blue square on top, right? So all we need to do is to select it, and then we'll drag it all the way down, and you can see that even from the view here, the yellow square is on top of the blue one, and when we click and drag this away, you can see that it's on top. So the Pixellab environment or any other design tool works like a stack. Okay, so the first thing that you put inside the stack is the last thing that will come out of the stack. So for you to see the first thing you put, if you have several things inserted onto the stack, you simply go to the layers and you can see any other thing. So let's add something else like a text. Let's add a text here, and we have it here. So let's just bring it on here, and you can see that it is on top. Okay, it is on top of our design. So when we add another thing again, it's going to cover that. Let's add another shape. Let's change this to a circle. So we'll change it to a circle and give it let's give it another color so that it's different from other things that we have. So you can see that it's covering the text, but when you go to the layer and you select it and you drag it, let's say we select this and we drag it below this, you can see that the happy is on top. Okay, and that's what it is. So the next thing under this layer is the lock icon. So this icon is very important in case when you're working on your design and you don't want to move other things on your design by mistake. So you can lock the text, for instance, by selecting the lock icon here, and you can see that you can't move this text, but you can move other elements on your design. So the next thing is the eye icon. So you might have something on your design canvas and you might want to remove it, but you don't want to delete it. So you can simply use the eye icon to hide it for a moment, and you can use the eye option to reveal it. The next option there is the delete option on the layer there. So you can simply click it to delete what you don't want. Okay, and the next icon there is the pen icon that you can see there. So it's simply for edit. You want to make edit to your text. Okay, you can see you can make edit from there and you add something else. So the next option under the layer option is the merge option. So sometimes you might have some elements on your design and you want to group them together so that they don't move. So you can simply click on this button here and you select what you want to merge together, and you click here to merge them. So you can see that these two are joined together. But remember, when you merge an element on Pixellab, okay, once you save it and you exit the application, you can't unmerge it again. So you have to be sure you want to merge an item before you merge it. So but because we have not closed this application, we can simply undo it, and we'll undo it again one more time, and you will see that we have our items unmerged because we have not closed Pixellab. Okay, we are done with the tools on top of the Pixellab environment, and we'll look at the ones below now. Now you can see the first thing we have is my project, right? If you have worked on Pixellab before, you will see all the project that you have done on Pixellab when you click on this very place. It's very important. So the next option is the default Pixellab canvas. So let's assume you have done some manipulation, or you have changed the background for your design canvas and you want to go back to the default. So when you click on this, you can see that we have several things there, and when we click it, it's telling us that we'll lose all what we have, and it's okay for us, and we'll click on OK. And this is the Pixellab environment by default. So the next option is the background. So all these are backgrounds on Pixellab. Okay, you can see them, they are all backgrounds. So if you want to work with any of these backgrounds, they are just pre-built there for you by default, and the text on these backgrounds can be modified to suit what we want. So let's change this to happy birthday, for instance. So we have happy birthday, and we'll click on OK. You can see that we have the text there, and that is what that does. So let's go back to the default. So the next thing we have here is these these options here, right? So in Pixellab we have options for text and we have options for shape. So let me add a shape as well so that we'll have the two together. So this is a shape and this is a text, right? So when you want to edit a text on Pixellab, you simply select the A icon here, and you can see there are several other things or other tools under the shape option. And when you select this shape as well, you can see that you can use the text option here with this A selected to modify this shape here, unless you select this shape option. So you take note of this. So first of all, we'll select this text and want to use the text option here to edit this text. So the first thing we have here is the style. Okay, so we can browse styles and we have the style that comes with Pixellab by default, and you can see them there. You can see the styles that comes with Pixellab by default. So if you have learned how to create a style on Pixellab and you have a style saved just like I have here, you can see a saved style on Pixellab. But this is for another day. We'll talk about this some other day. Okay, so that is that about that. So the other thing that we have here is the edit. So you can just click on it and then you edit the text that is there. So let's type our text, happy birthday, and we'll click on OK, and that is what that is for. So the next thing is the delete, and we all know what it is, to simply remove an item. So the second one is to copy. So you click on it and you can see we have a duplicate there. Okay, so the next one is to front, and this is very important. So you can see that we have this square. We have this let's change the color of this so that we'll understand what we are doing here. So you can see that we have this shape right on top of our write up, and we don't want it that way. So it's either we come to our layers here and we drag it upward there, okay, to have it there, or we select our text and then we come down to the text option here and we'll click on to front, and you can see that we have it in front here. And when you click on to back, it goes back to the square there. Okay, so that's what that is. So this positioning as well. So assuming we're working with a small text like this and you have it somewhere here and you want to bring it to the center, so this position is simply moving the text by just clicking a button. So you can see that it moves, and this move by pixels here is how fast you want to move it. So you can move it by 4 pixels, you can move it by 20 pixels, you can move it downwards, and you can move it upwards as well. Okay, so let's undo that so that it goes back to what it is. So the next thing that we have is this relative positioning, and this is very important when it comes to aligning. So we want to align our text either vertically to the center or horizontally to the center, or want to align it to the left or to the right, or want to align it to the top or to the bottom. So that's what the relative option does. So the next thing under this text edit option is the size. So we can increase the size of a text from here, and we can reduce it from here by simply dragging this or pressing the plus button here to do that. So we'll have it like this and we'll click on OK. So the next thing that we have here is the padding. Okay, and the padding here, you might not really understand what it is because the padding here is okay, but let's assume you type a text and you have it hiding this way. Okay, you can see that you have typed the text. When you click on it to edit it, you can see it's happy birthday, but part of it is hiding. So to reveal it, you simply click on the padding option, and then you can increase the padding from the left. So the padding is simply the constraining environment of the text, okay, or the constraining space within the text. So you can see that we can increase the padding from the right, and we can also increase the padding from the left as well. So you can see the extra space that we have there. Okay, so the next option that we have here is color, and we all know what this is. So we can change our color from here to any other thing that we want. Okay, we can change our color from here to any color here, and we can also use a gradient color. That's a mixture of two colors together. That's the gradient option here, and let's just select it to white. So the next option here is the texture. Okay, so to use this texture, let me just change the font style of this font so that you get a clearer picture of what this is all about. So let me change it to a font that is bolder. So we'll just click on OK. So we have this here. So to use this texture here is just simply adding a texture or another image as the color of our design or our text. So we'll simply head on to our gallery and then we'll check for a picture, and then we'll try to use it as the texture for our design. So we'll just take this just for this example. So we'll have this here and then we'll click OK. So you can see that the texture for this text has changed from what it is to that image that we just have there. So let's just undo this. So the next thing here is the opacity, and it's simply reducing the brightness of the color, how bright we want it or how light we want it. Okay, so the next option under this is the rotate option. So it's simply changing the angles or the direction of our text. Okay, so the next option is the max option, and this max option can be very helpful. So let me just give you an illustration of what you can do with the max option. So let's copy this text, we have it like this, and we'll change the color from white to a yellow, and we'll click on OK, and we'll use this positioning option to position it to the center vertically and horizontally. Okay, so let's select this first, we'll position it vertically, horizontally, and we'll select this and we'll position it vertically, horizontally. So we want to have an effect of the white text under. Okay, so we can use this max to make a selection on that text, and we'll max out. If we max in, we want to remove the part that is in between the max, and if we max out, we want to remove the part that is outside the max. So that is what it is. So you can see that we have successfully created this effect with the help of the max tool. So you see what it is, and that's how helpful the max out tool can be. So the next option that we have there is the font. So from here you can select different kinds of font. So we have fonts by default here. Okay, so you can change the font or you can change the style here. So you can see we have different fonts here, and we have some custom fonts that we install. Okay, I will leave a link in the description of this video on a video on how to install fonts on Pixellab. Okay, you have a custom font you want to install on Pixellab, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. So the next option that we have here is the style. So we want to change the style, maybe you want to italicize it, want to bold it, want to underline it, and that is the option or the style there. So the next option is the curve option. So we want to change the curve or the direction of our text to just give it a nice looking effect there. So you can either reduce it or you increase it by clicking on this arrow, and we can turn it upward by taking it down all the way. That is what that does. So the next thing is the background. You want to give your text a background, so you have it like this and you enable it, so you can see your text is having a background behind it. So let's just add this text so that we'll make an example that will be a little bit clearer for all of us. So we have this text, and then we'll change the font of this text to something like this, and we'll click on OK. Right, so the next thing here is the alignment. So we want to align either to the center or either to the left or either to the right, or we can justify our text like this. So that is what the alignment does. Okay, so the next option is the spacing, and this spacing is the space between the words. So we can increase it and you see the effect there. Okay, you can see the effect. And this other spacing is the spacing between the words. So we have two words, happy and birthday, and you can see how the effect is. So letter spacing and word spacing, and that's what it is. So this is spacing between the line, so I'll increase it and you can see the effect there. Okay, so I'll cancel it. So the next thing is the stroke. So when you click on the stroke, you enable it, you can see that we have an effect outside our text. So we can change the color of the stroke from here, and we can reduce the width of our stroke, how thick we want it to be or how light we want it to be. So you can see the effect there. So the next option is shadow. Okay, so we can enable a shadow to give it a shadow, and we can change the color of the shadow as well, and we can change the radius, okay, of the shadow, and we can reduce the opacity of the shadow as well. So there are other properties of the shadow that you can explore yourself. So the next option is the inner shadow. So the other shadow is the outer shadow, but this one is the inner shadow. So it gives the text an effect inside the color of the main color of that text, so you can see what the effect looks like. Okay, the effect is affecting the shadow is affecting the text inside, not outside. So the next thing that we have here is the perspective tool, and it helps us to put our text in a particular perspective. Okay, you can see what this does for us. So you can make your text to look like it's slanting. Okay, and you see what it does, so you can explore it more. The next option that we have is the 3D rotate option. So you can see how this works. So you're just simply rotating your text to a particular angle just to have the 3D feel or 3D option. So you can rotate it on the left axis and on the y axis. So the next thing is the 3D effect. Okay, you want to give your text a 3D effect, so you can simply do that from here by enabling the 3D. So you can increase the depth or reduce the depth. Okay, you can change the color of the depth. Okay, and you can select how dark you want it to be, and you can select how you want the 3D effect to look like, so you can explore more and play around with it. So the next option here is the shadow option. So you want to give it a 3D shadow. You want to give your text a 3D shadow, and you can see the effect there. So you can reduce the blur radius from here, you can expand it, or you can reduce it. So the next option is the reflection, and you want to have a reflection of your text this way, so you can see it, and you can reduce the offset or increase it depending on what you want to achieve. Okay, we are done with the text option, and the next option is going to be the shape. Okay, so we'll talk about the shape, but there are some options that might repeat itself here, so I might not really talk about it because we have talked about it in the text. So the option that we have here is the edit, and from here you can change the color. Okay, from here initially our color was red, we'll change it to blue, and you can increase the radius, that's giving it a rounded edge, and you have your shape. You can see that it's different from what we had before. Okay, so the next option is the delete, and we can delete it by clicking on this button. The next option is the crop option. Maybe you want to reduce the size of your shape or any other image you have on your screen, so you can see that you have cropped it and you have reduced it. So the next option is the copy, and it's the same thing with what we did on the text option. And the next option is to front and to back, so it's the same thing with what we have. So let's just make a copy of this, and we have it here. Okay, and we'll change the color of this to, let's say, blue. So we have a red rectangle there, and we want that red to show on top. Okay, so with the rectangle selected, we'll take it to back. We'll take it to back, and you can see that the red is not showing, but if we bring it to front, you can see that it is the blue that is showing, and that is what it is. So this positioning is the same thing with the text. That's the movement of the shape on our design canvas, and this relative positioning is the same thing. We want to position it relatively to the center. vertically and horizontally, or to the left, right, or to the bottom and to the top. Okay, so the next option is the relative size, and this is talking about reducing the size on all sides relatively. So you can see how it is. So it's reducing everything together at once. Okay, not affecting only one side of the shape. That is the relative size. So the next thing here is the color, and we all know what it is to change color. The next thing is the texture, and we have talked about this. So the next thing is the opacity, and we'll say we'll reduce how bright we want our shape is, or how light we want it to be. So the next option we have here is the filter, and we can use this filter to change the color of our shape or to give it a particular effect. Okay, so you can see that a little changes is being applied to the shape that we have there, and this filter is mostly important or effective on pictures. So you can change your pictures from their color to a black color by using this filter feature. So the next thing we have is the stroke. So we want to give our shape a stroke, and we can increase the size of the stroke, and you can see the effect there. So the next option that we have is the erase. So we want to erase the side of our shape, so we can increase the brush size, increase the opacity, and we erase, and you will see the effect. So you can see the effect of the erase tool. So the next thing is the marks, and we have talked about this marks out tool. So we'll just enable it, and it's simply used to cut around our shapes or around our elements on our design canvas. Okay, so the next thing that we have is the erase color, and this is very important, most especially if you have two shapes merged together. Okay, so let's just do a quick example here. Let's just do a quick example with these shapes. So we have this and this, and then we'll select the shape option and we'll merge this together. Okay, we have it merged together, and we'll use the erase color. We want to erase the red color, so we'll enable it, and then we'll select this, and we'll select, and then we'll click OK. So you can see that with the erase color tool, we have removed the red color and we no longer have it there. So let me show you again. Let's remove the blue. So select the erase color, and we'll select the eyedropper, select the color we want to erase, and we'll check from here, and you can see the blue color has been erased, and that's what that tool does. So the next one is the rotate. So you can see we have talked about this rotate before, and you can see the option. The next one is the 3D rotate. So if you want to have a 3D effect, okay, on your design, you can see what it is and what it gives. So the next one is to have a 3D shape, and we've talked about it when we were discussing on the text. Okay, so this might not be really effective. Let's use the 3D rotate from here, and we'll rotate it so you can see what it gives. So you can see a plane shape has turned into a 3D shape. Okay, and that is what it does. So the next option that we have there is the perspective, and it's the same thing with what we had on the text here. So you can give your shape a particular perspective that you want, and you can see the effect there. So the next one is the shadow. It's the same thing with what we talked about on the text. So you can change the color of the shadow from here, and you can give it inner shadow as well. So the next one is the emboss. Okay, so you want to give your shape a kind of an effect, so you can see the effect even on the shape that we have there. So you can see how it's giving it some kind of a good looking shape. You can see how it is just like a kind of a 3D effect. Okay, but it's not really a 3D, but it helps your design pops up, and you can use it to achieve a lot. Okay, so guys, we have exhausted the tools that we have, that is for the shape and for the text. All right, The other tools that we have is this one that we have here. So you can change the color of your background from here by clicking on color here, and you can give your background a color automatically from that tool there, and you can see that the color of your background has changed. So you can have a transparent background by clicking it, so which means you want to save this image without a background, and especially if you are working with logos, okay, you will want to use this transparent option. So the next thing here is the size, image size, and it's the same thing with what we talked from the beginning. So you can give a custom size from here, or you can select any of the sizes that we have from here. So the next thing that we have is the crop option, and this works when the background is active, so you can crop the background. So the next thing is the image or from gallery. So if you want to select your background from an image from gallery or from your camera, so you can use any of these three options. Okay, so the next option that we have is this rotate here. The vignette give us this cool looking effect that we have here, so you can change the color to any other color you have, and you can add a noise to your background. You can see what it is, so you can reduce the noise, increase the noise depending on what you want to achieve. Okay, so you can have a stripe background, you can see it there, and you can increase the brightness, and this is especially important when you're working with image on the background. Okay, so you can increase the contrast as well, important especially when you're working with images as the background, and the hue as well. This is also important when you're working with images as the background. Okay, and we have the saturation, which is also important when you're using an image mostly as a background. Okay, so guys, we've come to the end of the Pixellab tool, what they do and how to use them. So you can take out time to explore them and to also try out new exciting things with. Okay, if you have not subscribed to our channel, kindly support by giving us a subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and drop your comments or your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will attend to all of that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.